Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this tutorial. And in the previous tutorial, we have seen how to design the register screen. Guys, sorry for the mistake. What I have done, I have already made the page of the login screen, but I forgot to hit the recording button, and that's why I was not able to record any of this. So sorry for the inconvenience, but I will explain you all the code what is going on over here. Okay, so when it comes to the registration page and the login page, now I was designing the login screen. So what you do, just copy paste the entire code of the registration into login. So it's almost same. And over here, just put the route path as login. Okay, so that's the only difference. And now over here, what you do? So you have to set the path over here. Okay, so it's when it comes to this login, the path over here is API forward slash auth forward slash login. This is same. And when it comes to the response, when the user will log in, we will get a token and user ID, which we have to set in the local storage over here. Okay, that's the only difference. And I will do one thing. Registration path is also same. It's auth register. And the one more thing what I have done is I have changed the port over here to 4000 over here. That's the only thing. And let me just do one thing. I will go to the registration and I will register the user. So user has been registered, and now we have come to the login screen. I will say AZ11. I will log in. So during the login time, some error has occurred. So let me just do one thing. Let me just refresh and the chat app over here. So I am having all the models. If I go to the user model, I'm having this AZ11. Okay. So that means our user has been created. Let's see what's the issue when it comes to the login screen. So I am here inside of the login. So I will try to console log and see. I will console log the response and I'll see what response am I getting. Okay. Request failed. It is saying it's a bad request. We have basically replicated the code of registration only. There shouldn't be any issue. Axios is there. It's almost same. Let me just do one thing. I will go to the controllers and auth. Let me just check what is the issue with the login, whether it is taking the username and log password properly or not. Okay, it was not supposed to throw any sort of error, but it is throwing. It is saying it's a bad request, but code seems to be fine. So okay guys, I think we have to test the controller of the login. So I'll do one thing. I will try to put the flags over here. Let me see where is the issue. I will keep on hitting as long as I'm not able to debug the error. So I'm able to come up till this point and let's do one thing. Let's not put this. This much is fine because anyways we are just checking these parameters. Login, and it is not even coming over here. So that means issue is over here. Let me just see whether it is coming inside of this if condition or not. Okay, so okay, the condition is altered over here, so I have to give this not sign. I forgot. Okay, so now it is working fine. I'm getting the response. So because of this one issue, it was not coming properly. So let me just remove all these console logs. So it was like if the existing user is not there, then you go inside of this. So since I have not put this not sign, so it was going in and the code was breaking. So now I am getting the response over here. So when it comes to the response, in the response to data, I'm getting this user ID and a token. So for that purpose, I will set the token as this and the user ID as this. Okay, so this much is fine. So now I'm able to log in. Okay, so now I'll go to the app.jsx over here and I'm having this token and set token. So very same way I will do one thing. I will create one more for conversation and no conversation ID and set conversation ID over here and value will be empty. Conversation ID set conversation ID and then I will have the current user ID over here. So current user ID I will get it from the local storage. Okay, so this is how I get my current user. So now when it comes to the set token, I will go over here to my login and I'll pass this parameter as a set token function. Okay, then I will go inside of my login over here and now I'm getting that set token and I will pass that set token over here. So I'm passing the token inside of my app.jsx. So now from here I will validate whether I'm having token or not. If token is there, token is not there. Okay, so I have to alter this condition. Again, I forgot. I have changed this purposely, but I forgot it. Okay, so if the condition is not altered, then I will go to this particular route. Okay, so we have to do it that way. Let me just no route match found for this. So for that purpose, what you have to do, you have to just copy this, come down below and paste it over here. And if there is no proper path match found, then go to the create conversation. And we have to put this braces like this. Okay. Okay, so user is having the token, then user will come to this particular path and if suppose whatever path I'm mentioning over here, it is not matching, then by default it will go to the create conversation and create conversation will load this particular element. Okay, so now what we'll do, we will go to the create conversation and we will see how to design this create conversation. So for this purpose, what I will do, I will copy this particular part and come over here, paste it down below. I will copy this also, and I will paste it over here. So this is for the create conversation. So when it comes to the create conversation, most of the part will be almost same. We won't have this, and we have the conversations. Okay, so conversations we will have, and let's see what are the other things which we can just add or remove from here. So I will copy this, create conversations. I will paste it over here. I will copy this as well. I will come down below. I will paste this, and yeah, I'm getting it for the registration. But now we have to change it for create conversation. Okay, so now I'm having this block for create conversation. Then I will have this form also. So I'll do one thing. I will copy this as well. Create conversation. I will come over here. I will paste this. I think I should copy this entire block only. Whatever that is not needed will be ignored. I'll paste this over here, and on submit username, password is not required. I will remove this, and name of the button will be create conversation over here. I'll copy this. Okay, username, this is there. This both the things are not required. So mostly you should try to basically make reuse the things. Okay. And when come to the creating the conversation, we have the participants. Okay, so participants we will have. So let me just do one thing. I will close all these unnecessary files which are here, and conversation controller I'm having. So when it comes to the creating the conversation, I will have the participants in the form of an array. Okay, so I will take those participants, and basically these participants are in form of an array. Okay, so I have explained this over here. It will be the array of the username. So for that I will pass those usernames over here. So I will pass that username. So basically the multiple users will open the window in the multiple browsers, and they will pass the username. So it will take over here as a form of array, different users from the different windows. So I will say constant response is equal to this await, and it will have the header. First of all, it will take the username and all, and it will have the headers over here, and headers will be authorization. Authorization bearer token. So for that purpose, I will just say / bearer, and it will take the token. Token basically you can pass from the this thing front-end side. So for I will say bearer space token over here, and let me just go to this page, create conversation, token, token. Here is the token, create conversation, token I'm sending from this, and when come to the create conversation, set conversation ID. I have to set the conversation ID also from here. So I'll say set conversation ID as this, and it will have the conversation ID as well. Sorry, set conversation ID. Okay, so now I'm over here. Let me just format this document, and I will say console.log response.data. It is saying unauthorized. I have to set the very same username, so it's a request field. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll say local storage dot clear, and I will start the process from the beginning. So I will say Aksh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let me just register first. I will say Aksh 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have registered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have logged in, and I will again enter the same username. This saying unauthorized. Okay, so let me see what's the issue. For authorization purpose, I'm sending the bearer token over here. So let me just do one thing. Let me just check my local storage. So token is there. User ID it is saying undefined. It doesn't matter whether I'm sending the user ID or not. User ID is not yet been used over here, but let me see what it is saying unauthorized. Exist, right? This is a post request anyways. API conversation, participants and username I'm sending. Headers is also there. Authorization bearer token. Okay, let me just check. There is some error. Let me just hit it again. It is saying the 404 conversation not found. So let me just go to the conversations controller. So over here, instead of this find one, I have to say find and create conversation. Okay, so conversation has been created. It was the issue with this conversation, and I'm getting the response data. So response data I'm getting. So now what I have to do, so this conversation ID is there. Sorry, it's not conversation ID. I am basically making a set conversation ID. So I will pass that over here. And for passing the set conversation ID, I will just copy this, paste this over here, and I have to get this particular ID. Okay, so I want this ID. So I will say dot that particular ID over here. So our create conversation is ready. Okay, so this is our create conversation. So now we will do one thing. Our create conversation is ready, and now we have to load the conversations. Okay, so for that purpose, I will copy this. I will come down below here and I paste the conversations over here. Okay, and to this conversation, we will also again pass the token like this. We'll pass the token, then the set conversation ID just like the above because this will be required. Set conversation ID also I'm passing, and we might have to get the conversation for the current user. So for that purpose, current user ID also will pass. Okay, so this is it. So now I'm having this conversations component. So now I will do one thing. I will go to the conversations and I will start designing it. So let me see what all is needed for this. I will go to my create conversation. I will copy this. I will come over here. I will paste this over here. And to these conversations, I am passing these many things like token, set conversations ID, set current user ID. So I am passing these three things to the conversation. And now when it comes to the conversations, we will get the conversation as an array. Okay, so for that purpose, we will declare one variable over here. And we will try to fetch the conversations. If we just go to this conversations, we are having this get conversation. So we'll try to get those conversations over here. So for that purpose, I will make use of the use effect. So I will say use effect and over here, I will execute this use effect whenever our token changes. Okay, so I'll pass the token over here and I will say constant fetch conversations. It's a async function over here, and I have the try and catch block. I will console log the error. And I will say constant response localhost 4000. I will get these conversations. I hope everything is fine. Header bearer token. I will pass the token over here. Yes, it is correct. I will call this over here. Outside of this function, I will make the function call so that I am executing this function. And set conversations I will do response to data whatever I'm getting. I will set that over here. And now I'm having this div. Inside of this div, I will do the mapping of the conversations what I have received. Okay, so I will say conversations dot map, and I will get the individual conversation from the area of the conversations. And inside of this, I will have this. Okay, no, I won't have this. I will have one div. What is wrong with autocomplete? I'll have one div over here. So this will basically show me the conversation title. So conversation dot title, and I will give the key to this. So that is uniquely identifying this division dot underscore ID, and on these conversations I will give the on click function over here. So this will basically do the set conversation ID. So set conversation ID, basically the conversation dot ID. Okay, so this is for conversations. And next I'm having this chat. So for that purpose, I will go to my app.jsx, and now I want to show the chat also. Okay, so chat of the users. So conversation is, just give me a minute, guys. So it is throwing some error while creating the conversation. Conversation is not a route component. All the components of the route must be route. Okay, so it is throwing error with respect to this because I have to just cut it, and I have to give it inside of the this element. Okay, so I will come over here, and I will paste it over here, and let me give this fragments. I will cut these fragments over here, and I will paste this. Okay, so now I'm identifying this entire thing as one particular element. Whenever this will be the route, I want to execute this two components simultaneously. Okay, so now that error has gone, now what I will do, I will come to the same element path, and I will check over here. Okay, so conversation ID, I will check for the conversation ID. So if there is a conversation ID, then I will show this particular path, by the way. Okay, so it's end condition. It's end condition. I don't want to give this or part. I will remove this, and I will save. And I want to show the chats. Okay, so whatever is the chat, whatever chat has happened between the users, I want to show that chat. And for that purpose, I have to go to this chat component, and I will start designing this chat component. I just hope this is going to be fine. So conversations are there. I will copy this. I'll go to the chats. I will paste this over here. And now over here we will make use of the socket. So for that purpose, I will say constant socket over here, and I will make use of the IO. HTTP localhost 4000, and I will give because I want to listen to my backend, and backend is running on my localhost 4000. And now I have to import this IO. So I will say import IO from socket.io client. And whatever data I have passed to this chat, like this token, I will get the data over here, conversation ID, and I have also passed the current user ID over here. So I will try to import the data, and now as can be seen, I'm getting this user is connected message over here from the backend side. So this is what I have done over here. Okay, so a user is connected. It is giving me the message. and now it is up and running. So now what I'll do, I will make use of the use effect over here, and instead of this use effect, I have to write the code, okay, for this. So I will say if no conversation ID is there, then I will just return, okay. So if there is no conversation ID, I will just return, and then I will say constant fetching. I will try to fetch the messages. I will make use of the async function over here. In this async function, I have the try, and then again I am having this catch. If any error is there, I will just console log the error. Okay, so when it comes to the fetching the messages, let me see. Conversation ID I'm passing over here. Yeah, it is perfectly fine. And I'll set the messages over here. And for this setting these messages, I will go up and I will come over here and I will say constant messages comma set messages over here. And to the set messages, I will make use of the use state hook. And my messages will be in the form of an array. And next I'm having the new messages, set new messages to set the new messages. New message and set new message, and over here it will be of type string. Okay, so now I have to make the call of this function so it is getting executed. Okay, so I am giving the call to this use effect, and this use effect will run whenever there is change in token and whenever there is change in conversation ID. Okay, so this we have to remember. Okay, so now when it comes to the socket IO, I will do one thing. I will make use of the socket over here. So socket dot emit, I will emit an event. So whenever anyone will join the conversation, when anyone will join the conversation, I have to emit the conversation ID. Okay, so I will emit the conversation ID to this event. And I have one more thing. I will say socket dot on. Okay, so basically this is the event in which whenever there is a chat message, so whenever chat message I will receive, what I will do, I will take the message and then I will make use of the set messages. So what whenever I will get the chat message, okay, so I will get that message and I will add it to this messages array. Okay, so I will add that message to this messages array, and there is this return statement which I will give. So I'm having this return over here. So what this basically is doing, so I'm having this, set messages, no, not set messages, I've done a mistake. So whenever this component will close, so I will say socket.emit leave conversation, and I will pass the conversation ID over here, and I have to turn off the socket. Okay, so I will say socket.off, and I'm turning off the chat messages. So now what I will do, I will come over here to the backend, and last time when we are like building the backend, so I have kept this section empty. Okay, so now what I will do, so I will come over here and I will say socket.on. I will make use of socket.on, and whenever there is chat message, so I have put this. Okay, so whenever there is a chat message, so what we have to do is I have to get the message. I will get the particular I hope this socket is correct, and I have to emit. Okay, so I will do io.emit, and I will emit that particular message. So when I'm saying this io.emit is nothing but I am broadcasting that message to all the clients. So now when there is a localhost 3000, so if suppose 10 users have logged into the localhost 3000, then whatever message, if suppose one user sending the message hi, that message should be broadcasted to other 9 users. Okay, so that message is broadcasted to other 9 users via this io.emit. I will emit that message to other 10 users. Okay, and now I'm having one more thing. I will say socket dot on disconnect. So whenever any user will disconnect from the socket, then I will console log that user has disconnected. And so basically, if you want to emit this event to all the other users also, so you can uh, create such event like io.emit, and you can just emit that event, okay, to all the other users. So this is how it is functioning. So now I'm having this chat.jsx over here of mine. So this is the structure as of now. So now what I will do, I will come down below and start writing my code over here for UI. So I am having this style. I will say styles.container, and for styling purpose, constant styles, the container I'm having. So my conversations will be displayed over here down below. Let me just save my backend as well. Okay, so now I will do one thing. I am having my H2 over here, so I will say chat, and then I'm having my unordered list over here, and it is basically will have this style. So I will copy this. I'll come here, and I will say title over here, and to this unordered list I am having the message list. Okay, so I will give this particular style, and when it comes to the unordered list, I'm having these messages. I will copy this. I will say messages dot map, and I'll map all these messages one by one. So this will be basically my list item. So key will be the message ID, style will be. So when it comes to this style will be a little bit different. So let me just do one thing over here. So instead of this, it will be message dot text over here. So now, if suppose now you must have already used the WhatsApp. So in WhatsApp, what happens when the current user is typing the message, it is displayed at the right hand side. And if the message is from the other user, it is shown on the left hand side of the UI. So for that purpose, you have to apply the style over here. So for that purpose, I will make use of this style component, and I will make use of the spread operator, and I will say style dot message item. So this will be the generic, and this style will apply to all the messages. And after that, I will again make use of the spread operator, and now I'll make use of the variable over here. Okay, so I will check whether the message is sender. Okay, so message dot is sender is exactly equal to the current user ID. If it is matching to the current user ID, then I will say styles dot own message, otherwise styles the dot other message. Okay, so these are the two different styles which I will apply over here. So this will be my unordered list. Then I am having the form component over here. So I will give the name as input container over here, and type I will give the placeholder. I'll give the placeholder here. I will say type a message, and I will say input field to this, and it's a button over here. So now we have to start applying this style. Handle submit is not defined. Okay, so I have defined a handle submit over here. So I have to go up and constant handle submit. I will declare what is this handle submit over here. So it's a string function, and it is taking some event, and I will say e dot prevent default, and it is suggesting me some auto completed code. Okay, so now I will try to send a message. So API, after API, I will send messages, and when it comes to the payload of this, so I will basically have the conversation over here. So I will say conversation as conversation ID, sender as a current user ID, and text as a new message. Okay, so I will send this as a payload. Header token bearer, this much is fine, and this much this many things are not needed over here. So when it comes to the sending the message, so whenever I'll try to send a message, I have to emit a event. I will say socket.emit message, chat message I will say, and whatever is the response I'm getting, I have to send a data as well. Okay, so I'll send a response dot data also, and set new message. I have to just clear it. Where did it go? So this is basically the field. I have to keep it empty. So Axios error. Let me just check. Okay, so whenever I'm trying to send the data, it is giving me this error like sender is undefined. So basically, when it comes to the sender, sender was supposed to be stored during the login process. I will do one thing. I will check my local storage. User ID is undefined. So basically, when it comes to this user ID, when the user is logging in, this user ID was supposed to be saved at that time, but I'm not getting the user ID. I don't know for what reason. So I have to check what is the issue. So just give me some time. So when the user was logging in, I was supposed to send the user ID as well. So let me just do one thing. Let me just check my auth controller. User ID. I am sending the user ID over here. It will send the user ID. And then when I come to the login screen, response.data, I will get both these things. I will set the token. If the token is getting stored, then this thing should also get stored. I will log in and let me just check the data. I'm getting the user ID, so but still the user ID is not getting stored. Let me just check properly what's the issue. I will I will check the all the parameters properly. The user ID. Okay, sorry guys. The U was capital over here. U was capital, so that's why it was not getting set. So now it will work. I will do one thing. I will clear the data again, and I will log in over again. And now if I see my user ID is getting stored. Okay, so now if I try to create any message, it is getting created. Okay, so my chat is working fine now. Now I'll do one thing. I'll come down below and I'll start applying the styles for my chat. So I am having this container over here. So for a container, I have already applied the style, and now I will see the message list. So for the message list, I will say list list style type, and I will give the value as none over here because I don't want any styling. Okay, so now the dot has gone, and I'll give the padding as 0 over here, and I will give the maximum height. I will give the maximum height at 300 pixels, and overflow y I'll go give the overflow by a scroll, and yeah, that's fine. Now I'm having this scroller so that I can just see my previous conversations, and then I will have the message items. I will have the message item. I will give the padding as 10 pixels, margin bottom as 5 pixels and 0, and then I will have the border radius. I'll have the border radius. I'll give the border radius as 5 pixels over here. Maximum width, I will have the maximum width. I will. This is fine, I guess, or 70. What wrap? Uh, I will give the word wrap as a break, and I think this much is fine. And then I will have the style for my own message or someone else's message. So I will say own message. If the message is the owns message, then I will give the background color as this over here, and then I will have the align self. I will say align self as flex end. So I am giving this as a flex end because I want my messages to come over here this side on the rightmost side over here, and I will give the text align. I text align also at the right hand side. Okay, so I will see my messages on the right hand side, and then I'm having the other message. So when it comes to the other messages, this will be the style. Then I'm having the input container, and for input container I will give the display flex, and I will give the margin top. I'll give the margin top as 10 pixels. Then I have the input field, and for input field I will give the flex. I'll give the flex as 1, and I have the padding. I'll give the padding as 10 pixels, and border as this, border radius as 5 pixels 0 0, and again the 5 pixels, and then I'm having this button. So for button I will give the padding, border radius and color as this. I think this much is fine. So hello guys. So now I have created one more user over here, and I'll say I am fine. And now if I go to this particular application, I'm seeing I am fine message over here. Now here I'll say that's nice. And if I come to this page, I'm seeing that that's nice page over here. So this is how we have created our application, chat application. Do check out my other tutorials also, and do let me know in the comment section how you like this tutorial. Thanks for watching.